Good morning, everyone. This is another session on astrology, and we will be discussing few more points. Now, astrology, in true sense, believes in past life karmas, and it believes that whatever your past life actions were, they in a way have a role to play in your present life as well. So that way, past life, maybe in certain fields you get a lot of struggle. It becomes very difficult. You try very hard, but at times things just don't kind of get through. This is probably because of something which you did wrong in your past life, because of which things in certain directions become slightly more difficult. So we'll try to understand that about past life karmas, how different planets or how different actions you know can indicate towards that. Now let us start with sun. Now the sun represents your father. Okay, so what happens is anyone who did not respect his or her father or showed kind of disrespect to their fathers in their previous life will have a weak sun. Okay, a weak sun in the horoscope. Okay, a weak sun in the horoscope will mean that maybe the person's relationship with the father is not that smooth, or maybe the person's bones are not that strong. It can also mean that it becomes difficult for the person to get recognition. It can mean that the person finds it really difficult to get a lot of recognition from his or her father. His or her father might not compliment him or her. So whenever this happens, it means in your past life there was some trouble, and but it does not mean that this will go on definitely, because a weak sun also gives positive results based on how much you try. Okay, then there are different amount of shlokas also which can help you get out of that. And like we also performance of havan and all those kind of things also kind of help a weak sun. Now what about moon? Obviously moon is directly related to your mother. Okay, so if you in your past life did not respect your mother or ill treated her in some or the other ways, it would give you a weak moon. Okay, weak moon also means mental instability. It can also mean that the person will be very hypersensitive. So if whenever that happens, whenever you are seeing a lot of struggle, especially in with respect to stabilizing your mind, then probably you are going through or your moon is not that strong. Now again, if the moon is not that strong, you should try to improve your relationship with your mother. You should you should try to live on fruits, sleeping on ground. All these kind of practices will help you mitigate or reduce the effect of a weak moon. On same lines, let's go with Mars. Mars denotes your younger brothers or sisters. So if you didn't respect them well, if you had a very bad relationship with your younger brothers or sister, then it can mean that you are facing few troubles with respect to the same. Maybe in your present life your brothers and sisters are very difficult to handle with, or things just don't go on. It can also mean that maybe your spouse in the previous birth was a meat eater or something like that. So basically, to reduce the effects of this Mars dosha, then you have to be especially if Mars is not well placed. Okay, that will cause delay in marriage as well. So to reduce that's called Mars dosha. Okay, means that marriage can be delayed. So to do that, you have to really have a lot of respect for your spouse. You have to have a lot of good and cordial relationship with your brothers and sisters. It's not a compulsion, but again, it's all up to you. If you want to reduce that effect, you can go ahead with that. So it depends like that. It works that way. Now Mercury. Okay, Mercury represents your education, intelligence, friends, okay, skin, power of speech, your memory, mathematics, things like that. Okay, so if in your previous life you respected all of these, you kind of cared for all of these things, you will have a strong Mercury. But if you didn't, you will have a weak Mercury, or your Mercury will not be well placed. In all that case, it's referred to as Mercury dosha. Now, to mitigate or to reduce this effect, one should have genuine friends. One should have respect for the teachers. One should serve them. Okay, again, don't feel if you do that, something good will happen, try to do it more unconditionally. If you try to do it more unconditionally, things will automatically improve. Okay, so also eating green vegetables and things like that tend to reduce the effect of Mercury and dosha. Now Jupiter essentially talks about your relationship with your saints, with higher learning. It means higher teachers. It means gurus. It means It can also mean sadhus, maybe teachers. Okay, professors, things like that. So if you respected them, you'll have a strong Jupiter. But if you didn't, you'll have a weaker Jupiter. Okay, if you have a weak Jupiter, then you might find that your relationship with teachers and all those kind of things is becoming troublesome or is kind of difficult. If you want to reduce that effect, you have to start respecting them. You have to try to help them also. Jupiter likes this saffron, honey, all these kind of things. If you kind of do that or donate them in charity, your Jupiter can give you better results. On same line, Venus means again spouse or wife. So again, if you didn't treat her well, you'll have a weak Venus. If you have a good strong Venus, that means you did well. See, a weak Venus will mean a delay in marriage or some kind of marital, you know not you might not get that much happiness. But again, it all depends on you. If you again understand that your Venus is weak and try to you know improve your relationship, try to give more respect to your spouse, your Venus dosha or the Venus defect can get reduced. So in same lines, even Saturn and Rahu and Ketu are also there. We'll be discussing that in the next video. But one has to understand that, see, all these doshas tend to can give you a bit of struggles. But again, what happens is that if you perform certain remedies, if you're more respectful for the same, okay, maybe you have a very hard relationship with your father, he doesn't respect you, he is abusive, something like that, but still if you respect him back, then things will improve. Now, on the first case, why is your relationship with your father ruined? It's probably because your sun is weak. Why is your sun weak? Because in your previous lifetimes you didn't serve him well. So that is how it is all kind of correlated and interrelated, and one has to be really, really careful. Now again, I also wanted to remind you that there are a lot of yogas. I'll be discussing about them in the next video. There are about 66 yogas. Okay, 34 are considered good yogas, 28 are Maha Yoga. Okay, 34 are good, that is very good, then 28 are very good. Okay, 6 is Viparit Raj yogas and 32 yogas are evil yogas. Okay, which includes 8 Khala and 24 Danya yogas. We'll be discussing about yogas and the past life karmas, few more concepts in the next video. For now, hopefully you understood how the past life karmas or how astrology deeply believes in past life karmas and also works accordingly. And hopefully you got few more insights. I'm Shwetank into astrology. Do check my channel for more. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye bye.